if you're lucky, you'll get some dry fly action. Nothing better when it comes to fly fishing. Seeing that fish rise, presenting your dry fly right in its feeding zone and it coming up, just sipping it for the surface. I love it, me. Absolutely love it. Here's a little dry fly that I've got that works wonders both on large still waters and small. However, what I would say is if you're fishing large still waters, go with a stronger hook. This is a fine wire dry fly hook, a B400. It's a size 12. I'd be up in that to a thicker wire hook if I was fishing reservoirs. But one of the great things with this is I'm using this new synthetic quill material. So it's not as fragile as a natural quill and it looks fantastic. Let me just show you. The rest is, I've got a little bit of dubbing. It's a Hens 35 Spectra. It's a nice brown colour. That's my thorax. And then CDC, because it's a shuttlecock dry fly. We've got some black thread. We'll go on and run in just behind the eye, winding down, nice touch and turns. I'm going to stop opposite the hook point there. Now what I do is I just snap that thread off. I didn't bother with scissors. I take my wonderful synthetic quill stuff. I love this. Very, very good. Now you can get this from, well, most people really. I got this from the Fly Tying Boutique. I believe Vineyards do it. There'll be quite a lot of people doing it now, I would imagine. Now, because I've pulled it off, I've got a little tag in. I'm just going to snip that. I'm going to catch it in on my side of the hook shank and wind up again, touch and turns. And I'm going to stop halfway up the shank because I want quite a pronounced thorax. Now you'll see what happens when I start winding with this stuff. Look at that. It's exactly the same. It's natural. Very impressed. Very impressed. Nowhere near as fragile though. And that's the key. Snip it, put that to the side because you don't want to waste it. Just wind over the tag end. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to butt up 5 CDC tips. Now what I want to do is I need to marry the tips up. So I'm looking for 5 feathers that are the same or as near as damn it. So I'm just going to pair these up on my vise. I'll hold them up and show you when I'm finished. Pair the tips, that's 3. Must be very gentle with this. You don't know what I'm doing this when you're anywhere near a doorway and somebody decides to open it because a little gust is enough. Even just a decent breath is enough to make this stuff go shooting across the floor. So that's 5 paired up. I'm going to grab them in a winner. You can see I've got the tips all aligned there. Keeping everything nice and tight. I'm going to tie in with the CDC. Oh dear, there we go, there's the first one. I'm going to tie it in with the CDC, sloping down past the end of the hook. Now I'm going to give myself double the length of the hook, so I've got plenty to work with. You'll see why in a minute. Come in secure with tight thread wraps, nice and tight, 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 tight. And with your scissors at an angle, come in and snip. Like so. Just make sure that there's no stray fibres. I like to make sure this is all nice and tight because I'm going to finish off in a shuttlecock manner, like I said. So, a little bit of the Spectra 335. A little bit. This stuff's great because you can do a really fine dubbing. Barely there dubbing, I call it. Nice and tight. Cover that thorax area. Now, with the hatching fly, you'll quite often get that little bit of shine as it's coming out the surface film. Eclosion it's called, when it escapes the surface film. You get a little bit of shine there where there's trapped air, and that's why I've used this dubbing. You'll see I've got my thread just a little bit back for the eye. There's a reason for that. Bring the CDC up and over, catch it in. Here's your CDC profile, shuttlecock profile. Take a couple of wraps, nice and tight. Okay, and then what I do is, to cock everything, pull the fibres back, and I come in, and with thread wraps, I push those feather fibres back. Push them back, push them back. Come in with your whip finishing tool. You could actually use this on a river as well. That synthetic quill just really looks the business. Now you can see, with the thread wraps that I've taken at the front, it cocks the CDC, which allows the fly to fish perfectly in the water. Any stray tips? Come in with your scissors, but don't cut straight. Come in at 45-degree angles and it still looks like the natural feather. So you're looking for the CDC, same length as a hook shank. Look at that. What a beautiful little fly. Looks exactly like the real McCoy. Sits flush in the surface. Perfect for a fish to come up and take it. You won't go far wrong with that, whether it be small still waters, a reservoir, or even a river. A great fly, natural looking, a hatching insect. Try it. I'm sure it'll be great for you.